I've shared it. Hope you've seen it. Okay. I can see we're live now.
Yes, we are live.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me all right, guys. I want to welcome you to another edition of our live session. I think the last time we had a session, it was quite amazing. I got some positive feedback from some of you guys. So today, I think a few days ago on Slack, I had to ask you guys if there were certain things that needed some clarification. And that is what actually prompted this class. So what we're going to do is, in order for us to actually convey or for us to actually go through, for us to cover some of the things that we actually highlighted on that particular thread. Let me find it. Find it here. So what I thought about was for us to actually create an application. So for us to actually talk to some REST APIs, talk to some endpoints, build a full-fledged application. I don't know how long it will cost us, by 2 days or today, depending on how it is. But I intend to actually touch all of these things that were actually highlighted on this particular part. So context, lambda, thread, navigation, view model, and all of that, adapters, and all of that. But I won't touch room database. Obviously, because there isn't more, I won't be able to touch everything. So the best way for me to actually do this would be for me to actually build a real application, something that you can actually take to the market. Okay, since I'm playing football today, awesome one. So if you're following the live class now, you could actually on this particular underneath this particular thread, you could just tell us that you're following. But let's just start. So I wanted to prepare my slide for this thing, but I said no. We're going to do this raw, because when you start working in a proper organization, what they're just going to give you will be maybe an FRD documentation. They give you UIs and they give you some other things. You on your own have to start crafting those things yourselves. You have to get your dependencies. You have to get a lot of things ready yourself. You need to know how to make research. You understand? So that's what we're going to be doing. So before now, I went online and so I can do this. So I went online and I was able to, let me find this other one. I was able to get some. First thing I did was to go to Google, of course, and then check for public APIs. So if you're thinking of creating an application and you don't know which REST API is to call, you could just go maybe public APIs, Github. You're going to see certain repositories that other persons have actually, things that other persons have actually collated before now that you can just use. So when I went to this particular site, this particular repo, if you open it, it takes you to this part. A nice job that this particular guy did here. So nice one. So you can actually see different repository that you can actually use, different APIs rather that you can use to actually try add stuff. So things for animals and the rest. So I actually picked this anime chan. So it's actually quotes for some of the animes that all of us watch, Naruto and the rest. So some of those characters, some of the important nice quotes, you get it. So we're going to be calling this particular endpoint. We don't actually need to. We don't need to get an auth token. We'll be using this endpoint, and then we'll be using, but they are not providing images. So we'll also be calling this particular endpoint also to get images. So if we go to that particular, if we go to this particular Git repository, as we click on this, it will take you here. This is a particular repo. So it explains a few things about, I think if you click on Explore API, it takes you to this part where we can actually see the API, some of the documentation of the API. So first of all, let's create an Android Studio project. I said we're going to be building this raw, and yes, because I'm trying to expand your mind so you know how to do things on your own. You know how to do things from scratch. You don't need to. You just need to just do things. Get it? So it's a bit difficult to navigate from here. Okay, let me see. So I'm going to create a new project. And I would like to use, most times we want to start with empty activity or a button navigation or whatever. I want to use, let me use this draw guy. So I don't know, because I think maybe this project might be a project that will actually cascade into other things. So we might just have different features that we're going to actually teach across, or just talk across before we get to project phase. So I'm going to name it anime quotes. Anime quotes, Q-U-O-T-E. And sorry, that's my company name. I'm going to say com.mrugbogo. That's my name. So yes, so we're going to be using Kotlin, and we're going to be using the minimal version of API level 21. So I'm going to click on finish. Voila, I think our app should start. Yes, to start having our app set up. So this will take a little time, depending on I think my network and a few other things, my system, the configuration of my system, and some other things. So it's actually building. So let's wait for it to load. So before it does, first thing, when you want to create an API, there are certain things you need to note. First of all, you need to note what we call a base URL, and you need to note what we call endpoints. Now, if I look at this particular on this particular guide to use this particular endpoint, it says, okay, we can get a random quote, 10 random quotes, get quotes by anime title, get quote by character name, just like that. Now, if we go through these different endpoints, all the different, yes, on this particular API, you're going to notice that some things cut across all of them. Get random quotes, I can see HTTPS, and then chan versel.app API random. You see API there. If you come to this other one, you see API, you see the rest, and you see API. If you come to this one, the same thing, you see API. You see from, what I mean by API, I mean you see from here to here. So that's the scene that repeats itself. It's called the base URL. While the other things that actually changes, we call them the endpoints. So those are the things that will actually differentiate what each of these guys are. Now, I think I was able to, another important thing that you might need to know would be within the use of your Postman. So when you want to try APIs like this, because I just saw these APIs and I need to test them. So I just came on Postman, created a new collection, and then I started trying it if the endpoints are really working. So I know that, okay, we're calling something that is really real and unique. Yes. So guys, yes. So that's for that. Let's check our project if it has started. Awesome. So we have some code that we need to refactor here. All right. Yes. So we're going to run this up and see what we have, and there are some things we might not actually need. And also another thing is we don't have a design yet, so I'm going to create a design on the spot. So this is this class is going to be a bit of how like this now a mental stretching exposing class. So I'll call it. Let me refactor this to show message. Please can finish loading. Nice. So guys, yes. So I would like to run this application so we'll see what we're actually building and see if it's see what we have before we proceed. Okay, let me leave that. I think something was distracting me, but let me leave that. So yes. So first of all, let's see if we can run this app. I'm going to run this on this thing is distracting me. Let's run this on this my one of the emulators. So while that is running, there are some of the endpoints that from this particular endpoint, there are some of them that I think we're going to be using. Number one, we're going to be using get all quotes. We're going to be getting get all quotes. That's get quotes by enemy title. I've already taken some of these things to Postman, so we're just going to be using some of these endpoints. Get quotes by enemy title. We're going to be getting get all available enemies. So and get all quotes by enemy title. So yes. So let me go to this and see if our program has actually started running. Um, playground, 14 playground. So while our application is still building, I want to find a way for us to be doing some other things before it gets built. I don't know why it's taking so much time. Maybe I don't know. I was supposed to maybe restart my system before starting this class. I don't know. It's really taking some time. So we're going to be working on Kotlin playground before this one gets solved. So first of all, we need to do certain things in order for us to actually mock our endpoints. First of all, let me go to Postman. Now this will be, like I said before, let me call this this will be our endpoints. That will be our base URL, first of all. Secondly, we need to start generating some of these classes. Let's say, for instance, we want to get all random quotes. We're not using that. We're going to get all available enemies as available title or available enemies. So if we click on that particular endpoint, we're going to get a list of the names of enemies that are available on this platform. There are quite a lot. So I'm going to see how I can use pagination to get to just get a few of them. Let me check if this guy. Yeah, what's happening? I can't see the emulator. So I need to get our emulator to actually display what our app going to look like before we proceed. Okay, so someone said it doesn't get your application could not be installed. Feed, right. Okay. Someone was asking about was talking about the Postman testing and the rest. Okay, let me use this opportunity since we're having issues with some certain drawbacks. Let me show you how to use Postman. Or let's assume you have a new endpoint that you want to test. Company gave you point, then most of the time giving a Postman collection already, or you might be Swagger already, so you just try things out yourself. But if you're doing as we're doing, and then you just went online and you've got some APIs yourself, you may want to do it. I am doing it currently. So remember, I'm actually using from this endpoint. I want to test if these things actually work. So first of all, let me I'm going to create, or let me this is another that I got from also. It's actually used to get images shared me images. So I want to create this. I want to test this on Postman. So what I will do first of all, if I click this, it's going to take me to this part. So these are some of the information on how to use the documentation on how to use this particular endpoint. Base URL is the URL to actually get any kind of image, and there's a type, and there's a this one will be type and path parameter. So let's test this and see if this works. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go man. So if I want to create a new collection, come to this part. These are several of other projects that I worked on in the past, and most of the projects I'm currently working on, they're not on most of them on Swagger. So let's do this. I'm going to create a new collection now. There's a new collection that was created here. System 2, and I'm going to name of this guys. So pick like that. So that's the collection I've actually created here now. Let me close this things now. Good. I'm going to add. So my request, this new request that I created now, I'm going to name it and I'm going to call it let's say and let's see what we will give it. Category get 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 by category. To actually create this. So this is a great request, but I need to input the URL that call paste. Now this information type field the type application, valid types are SFW and N. If more like things are for you to say for someone has an adopt using this category value be categories. So there is why this in here are the category. So put this SFW. So I'll go man is type. But I want it to be dynamic. Doing this program. Why can't I see? Oh. Okay, so let me let me sorry. So if I want to come to my parameters will be this is a senior of type part. That's the input calling instance PI the type might be male. I'm giving an instance. While the category might be boys or men. This is a thing that has to do with it. You can actually just import like parts most of the time. So I'll show you what parameters are, what errors and the rest. For this point part. So what I can do is for this particular for me to use it Postman, I can come in before this type. I can upload what do in NFW for this particular endpoint. Let's and actually search for directly as within type SFW in category put this guy here. So if I say I'm an image URL of someone else, so that's what that means. So category okay, powerful. So if I call this, if I think this and get an email. Okay. Yeah. So right. Sorry, guys. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this one is to get request. The other one is to pay. Let's try it again. So for type, type is S F W S M. So the type. So I went to write something else. So SFW. So that's the reason why it didn't work the first time. So when you get a 404, just know that it was 404 means not found. That means you it doesn't exist. So you're doing something wrong. So we got a 200. This is the success case. That means we're able to actually that when we start building our endpoints, we won't just add code and add code blush because we want to change these things dynamically. So one of the ways Postman that you can do that will just be after your slash, you can add column. I'm sorry, yes, I think column here. So when you have a column, it will give you access for you to put in path parameter. I can do the same thing for blush, but if I do that, remember this SAW was a value parameter, so I have to change the type. And I have to change this to category. You have to spell all these things I'm writing. All these things I'm writing, you have to type them exactly as it is on the endpoint because these are contracts. You don't type them exactly. Of course, you breach the contract, so you won't be able to actually access anything. So for the type, I'm going to type SFW. So that's the type for me to access. And for the category, I can put anything I want that falls within this set of values that I say we can check for. So let me check for, if we say wave, we're going to get an image for wave of an enemy we get. So I'm going to put wave on this particular part. So this is the way we're going to structure it on our own app so that it's more dynamic, so we can be changing things. So we got an endpoint, we got a result. So I'm going to try this on the web and see if this is real. So let me go to Firefox and then put that particular success response that we got and see if it give us something. Okay, I guess I did something wrong again. Sorry. I'm not supposed to put yeah, so let's try it. So you can see that we got an image here. So it means that our API is working and it brought an image that we can actually use on our app. So we're going to be this that I did now is an example of you testing endpoints in Postman. So I created a new collection. You can see on this particular one of this animation, I created a collection and I started creating different request points, different endpoints. So you can just you can come to add requests and then you start adding those things. You can still categorize it also. You can add a folder. So this particular folder now you can name it to become, let's say, you can say auth. Let's say auth token. So this particular folder, all your endpoint for authentication, you're going to add all of them here and be testing them. So this is a way for you to actually test if an endpoint is working before you start working with it. So guys, I don't really know what is wrong with my system, but I'm going to ignore it for now and then just assume this thing is working. So let's proceed. So first of all, now there's what we call package structure. Now, this thing is not. Yes, there's what we call package structure. So if you come to this particular, but these are application, and these are scripts. So on this part configuration files in which you can add dependencies and do some other things to configure module. Within Java, then certain things like your teaming, how you team your application, and some other things. I guess I shouldn't go there. Now, on this particular Java part, the first one has to do with the part where you write your code. This other part will be the part where you test your code, Android test, and the other one is for your unit test, and the other form of testing. So within this part, this is where we're going to create our own package structure, and then yes, build from there. So this UI part, let's ignore that because these are the things that came by default with that particular initial structure that we created. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new package, and I'm going to call it API. I'm going to call it API. So I'll create a new package, and I'll call it API. I'm going to create another package. I'm going to call it utils, because there'll be some API classes we want to use. I'll put them there. So I'm using this opportunity to teach about package structure. If you're using Dagger, you can do something that is DI, but for now, none of you will be using Dagger because at least you still need to learn something before then. So we have API, we have utils. Most times I like to create views or whatever. So, and I want all my UI guys to go into views. So what I'm doing, I'm teaching you how to package, how to structure your package professionally, so you don't just put things anyhow. Then my system is slow. Let me move main activity to views also, because all my view class are going to be within views. This thing's slow. Damn. So if there are more things that we need, okay, I didn't know I didn't move. If there are more things that we need, okay, this should be an error. I think it has happened before on somewhere else. So it's actually the same, but it's an error case. It's Android Studios error. So just leave it like that. So if there are more packages that we need, we're going to include them as we proceed. So first of all, let me go and create my retrofit. Let me create my client class. So I want to create a class, and I'm going to call it retrofit class. But before then, the first thing we need to do actually will be to actually import some of our dependencies. So I'm going to go to build.gradle app level build.gradle. So that's this second one here. You can see animecode.app. So this second one, I'm going to click on it. We need to configure our application so that we can do certain things. So in order for us to use retrofit and some other guys, we need to import those dependencies. So currently what we have now, we just have a few things, and we need a lot more. So I think I created a note. So what you do normally would be to go to Google and start searching for ways in which you can get your different dependencies. So if you want retrofit, just say, let's say retrofit dependency. There's a GitHub. So retrofit was created by Square. So of course, most people when they create their libraries, you have to put it on GitHub. Most people launch it on GitHub, and then you create a documentation on GitHub for people to see how to actually use it. So we're going to find this, and then we're going to find their current version, what we need to, dependencies, dependencies and all that things, even how to use it. So that's what we're trying to do. Remember, I said this class, I'm not just showing you how to build up, I'm showing you how to make research also. So this is retrofit. You go down, you see what's about, program rules, and some of those other things. So let's go to the website. They say we should go to the website. Good. So this is retrofit. So let's see how. Okay, this is not even showing us. Let me go back to GitHub. So I think we'll click on declaration. Let's see what's that there. The declaration is declaration. Okay, good. So this is the implementation for it. So we're going to copy these parts and then we'll take it down to Android Studio. So this is the dependency, Gradle dependency, because we're using Gradle within our system, within Android. So we use Gradle. So we'll copy that and then we'll go to our dependency build.gradle app level, and then we'll paste this. So I'm going to name this retrofit. So we need to get the version and put the version there. My system. Shit. So the current version can get the current version from. This is the release. So if we click on release, you can see the different release. So the latest version will be 1.60. So that will be the latest version. But this is a way for you to actually get your dependencies. So you have to be searching for them one by one. So, leave that. So within this part, I'm going to put sorry guys. So I is copying them and then add them to I'm going to add them to our dependency parts of the app. So this is navigation. Let me just copy everything that is here. I don't want that. I want like delete the ones that we don't need. So we already have core. We have core here. Delete it. We have our compact here. I like it more organized. We have material. Delete that. We have constraint layouts. We have navigation already here. So I like to structure them. So we have navigation there. So I'm deleting these two navigation guys. We have life cycle. Life cycle has to do with view model, live data, things that manages your life cycle callbacks and some other things. So navigation fragments. I think we'll have a navigation fragment. Okay. Let me do something backwards. Navigation UI, navigation fragments. Okay, it's repeated. So this one will go. This one will go. So JUnits. In fact, all of this should go. Already, I copied them in. So these are test case. This is navigation. This is live data. Some of the dependencies I will need. So these are research that you make yourself. So if you're using coroutines, we'll use this. I think we're going to use coroutines. Then retrofit. So this is the retrofit implementation that we got just now. I think this was this. Let me check again. Retrofit 2, retrofit, the input latest version. So retrofit 2, retrofit, the latest version. So this is the setup. So I want to use it for this particular project for ATS. We're not doing anything Firebase on this particular tutorial, so I'm going to remove that. Sorry, insert switch. No. Yes, we're going to use Glide. So Glide is actually a library that you use to process image, to load images on your app. It's a lot more better than doing it yourself. So let's actually sync our project and then proceed from here. So based on the fact that we've added these dependencies, we can use retrofits, we can use live data, we can use navigation components, we can use coroutines, we can use Glide, we can use JSON, we can use JSON. We can use JSON, we can use HTTP interceptor. Good. Now, so the reason why this is not working currently is we need to do some other ingestion, we need to add some certain things to this particular part of our project. So what I would do is, let me see. A minute, guys, please. Thank God, it's better now. Good. All right, so good. So I'm going to go to an old project and just get some things that I need to get, just copy them so we don't waste time on these things. In fact, I could have done this thing so we don't waste time on some of all these things. I'm not supposed to open this. Let's see. So I'm going to go. So first of all, we need to add these things to, we need to have Maven. We have to add this Gitpack IO to our all projects. That's something we need to add. We need to add these two guys. If we don't add them, it will be difficult for us to actually load some of those dependencies from where they are actually, because this is the endpoint that we're using to. Most of those dependencies are being stored within this particular locations. So we need these guys to actually put them and then install them on our application. So that's one. Another thing we need to note to get also will be for us to let me go to build app level. In order for us to use view binding, let me see other things that I put here. Some of the guy needed actually. Okay, so this is our project. In order for us to use view binding, we need to add think it's build features. Can't remember all these things, but let me check from another project and yeah. Let's go to Google. Add view binding. So projects. So this is what we need to add. This view binding. We just need to add this to our Android block, and then we'll have view binding feature. That's all. We'll have with this, we have view binding feature. So remember, we've been able. Sorry, not on this part of the code. It's going to be on app level. Yes, app level. So it's going to be on put it on this part of the code, this part of build.video. So that being done, let's see if we can update some of these things. Of these warnings. This is a 143 is available. Let's see. Okay, that one is correct. 231. Okay. Okay. So let's sync our project and see what we're going to get. All right, so we're still having issues. Could not find method Maven. Good. So we copy this. Oh, okay. We copy this and then we add this also to add it to this repository part also. Not find the waiting. There again. So view. Okay. Let's see this guy. So guys, please bear with me. I'm trying to say I can solve that particular challenge. When you have an issue like this, and then you have an issue solving it, what you just do is, sorry, not this one. What you do is you go to Stack Overflow and then copy this particular error that you get. Stack Overflow. Let me see. Let me copy to this part. Go back. And then remove all of these parts, remove them. Put start. So of course, any problem you have, there must have been people that had the same issues before. The reason I'm having this is that they don't get that are related. So that's the reason I'm listening. So this is someone's solution. They said that we should add this. So I think part of our problem. Let me check what the issue is. We're getting error because your Maven shouldn't be a direct child of all projects or the direct child of repository. Oh, okay. So it's not supposed to. Sorry, yeah, man, I'm very, very sorry. I didn't even notice it. That's a very wrong place to put it. So this is where it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be there at all. So that's the reason why we had that. So anytime you have an issue like this, I remember I said I'm going to make this class like this. It looks a bit unstructured, but this is what you're going to go through in real life. So we're going to be solving problem head on. You get it. We're going to be solving it head on. So we're actually correct here, but we're not correct in the other one. So so let's try and sync up again. Okay, now I have another issue. Unknown property, could not get unknown property, nav version. Good. So these nav versions, these things that I added here, they actually have their numbers like this. But what I've done is I was able to, at a point, I had already, let me check the other old projects and get those numbers from it. So that's how you're going to be experiencing different issues like that. So I got it from, use navigation this. So I'm going to stop sharing, please, and then I will. I'm still here. I just want to see how I can. I don't want to display some certain files. So yes, okay. I'll be done now. Good. Okay. So the reason why we had that issue, let me share. So the thing is we can actually I can decide to move it to this topics extension file across to everybody. But these are not information that you need right now. In fact, go to this, get this guy. This is where that guy is. Is the navigation guy. So I've defined it, and yes, so I have it here. So let me sync again. So I believe after with this you sync, I'm not sure you should have any issue with grid dome syncing. So when you have an error, just copy the exact error you're saying. Make sure you know because if you search wrongly, you're not going to get an answer. So just find a way to know what you need to search for, and then you get your answer actually. So I think we've been able to actually sync currently. Awesome. So we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So I'm going to close this. Coming to that. Good. So let us go to app API, and then let us create our retrofit client. So let me just call it retrofit client. So what this guy will do for us, it will be the guy that actually creates a retrofit class for us. So let's go to the function. Let's go to the function. The function that says let's say get retrofit. So by get retrofit, you understand what it means. So I want to get retrofit. So retrofit. So if I'm getting retrofit, it means I need to return retrofit. So this, if you want to build retrofit, you say retrofit. Yeah, retrofit. Where's my system? How my system on Angel dot builder. So retrofit the builder, we want to build retrofit. So when we build retrofit to be able to actually yes, from the builder, I'll be able to get the retrofit itself. My system there. So first thing we need to add, we need a callback factory. We need a converter factory, first of all. So by converter factory, we need something that will be able to, because when we communicate with REST APIs, we'll be getting JSON files returned to us, or we might be getting when you're getting HTML, because something is wrong, you'll be getting XML returned to you. But most of the time, generally, as of now, JSON is a lot more structured and a lot more better. So we need a JSON converter factory. So I get a JSON converter factory to create. So this is just a better way, just a simpler way for us to just create a converter factory for us. So this will just create the JSON converter factory. Remember, I got JSON dependency also when I was getting the dependency. If I didn't get those things, I won't be able to do this. So understand the process. I'm trying to teach you this thing from ground up, like this thing yourself. So that's what we. So another thing I need to add is I need to add base URL. Yes, we need a base URL. So to get this, let's put a constant for base URL. Another class utils. I'm going to call it const. So all my constant files is going to be an object class. All my constant files are going to be there. So let me call this constant var base URL. Base URL. And then I want to make it to be equal to if you guys are still following, let me know if you're still following. So if you have a question, you can write it on the group. I'll be able to actually answer it the same way I was able to talk about Postman. And I believe for now, it will be easy for you to actually create a Postman collection and test. So while I'm teaching, if there's anything you don't understand fully, you can type it on the group. I'll check it once in a while and then just retract my steps so I can actually explain some things in more details. And sorry for the time we'll be thinking, but at least these are the sacrifices you need to pay to get to where you get into. So for my base URL, remember what I told you when we were crafting our API. Let me go back to Postman. Remember I did Postman myself. Let me go back to the source itself, which is the particular endpoints. So let me close this. We're done. We're done. We don't need you anymore. We need you. Okay, we haven't got it yet. So let me just copy this guy even. So this will be our base URL. I take it back and then I put it here. So we have our base URL. So I come back to this part and I say, import my base URL. I just import it. So we're getting it. Look at it here. So I just import it into this part. If you don't want it that way, you can say constant. Since it's an object, you can say constant. Constant base URL is all the same thing. So I like it this way. I've imported it already, so that should work. So let me check for another thing that we might need to actually include, and then you don't need a core factory except you want to do. So we're going to. I think just to cover. I think that works for us. So let's build. Let's build. So at this point, guys, we have our retrofit. We have a retrofit class. We have an retrofit instance returned to us. So anytime I want to get retrofit, you just call get retrofit. It knows how to give us retrofit. So another thing we need actually would be we want good. We need to add interceptor because if we call retrofit and then we start accessing endpoints, we won't be able to know if our endpoint is working because we need a way to find out and see that just the way we're looking at Postman, and then we're able to actually see. Let me click on one of these guys. Let's say this one. We're able to actually see the result. I can see this. If I click on send now, I'll be able to see the response. The response will show on this part. You understand? I'll be able to see on the response. So let me even click on it so you see. So I can see it. So I want to be able to see these things also on the log of Android Studio so that I'll be able to know if this thing is working or not. I can see if it's 200, if it's a success case. I can see a lot of other things. All these things I'm seeing on Postman, I should be able to see it on Android Studio. So to do that, what we need actually, we need HTTP login interceptor. So the login interceptor will actually help us log in those information. So let me say get HTTP login interceptor. Now, all of this class should be private because nobody should be able to access them from outside this class except those people that are worth accessing it. So we need a HTTP login interceptor. So what I will just do is I'll say HTTP login interceptor. As a class over there. Let me convert this to convert the body for now. So HTTP login interceptor dot okay, we need the set level. Let me use apply. Now, let me not confuse you guys. Let me do it in a very simple way so you understand what's happening. Interceptor dot level. So it's going to be HTTP dot level dot body. So if you use basic, you can use basic, you can use, but I like body. So with body, we're able to actually see a lot more information. So I think that should be it. Let's see if we can add any other parameter to it. Interceptor dot level. Yep. So those are the really core things that you need to really add to the to that interceptor guy. So let's find a way to refactor this code. Let's refactor it so it's a lot more slicker. First of all, I can say I can just put return here. First of all, return HTTP login is set of dots. I want to apply this level to it. I am refactoring the code. Now you'll be able to see, at least you've been able to learn how to refactor your code also. So let me even take this to become so yeah, that's the same thing as that. Also, another thing is we need an HTTP client. Now, what actually does the connecting with the with backend servers and the rest is actually your HTTP client. So we need an HTTP client. So I'm going to say get private from get HTTP client NC. That will be able to give us, don't mind these things that are coming up, is actually predictive and AI, this that I'm using, that predicting some things for me. So this will return an HTTP client, okay, HTTP clients actually. So I've done these things a whole lot of times. So that's the reason why I remember what I am to do. I've done it a lot of times. Yeah. So I need HTTP client. HTTP. Okay, HTTP clients. Dots. I think it has a view. Does it have a view method? Dot in. Yes, it has a builder method. So let me see that I need the thing. So I'm going to add interceptor. The first interceptor I want to add will be this HTTP. This get HTTP login interceptor, because we need that actually. So this is the part we're going to set it to. So that's one thing I need. Another thing I need will be to no, I don't want to. There are a lot of things you can actually do here. A lot of things that you can actually do here. So, but I'm not going to go to those advanced things. So I want to talk about connection. We need to set that connection. Yeah, we need to set our time at, request time at, connection time at. No, I don't need this particular guy. So request. So read timeouts. Okay, so we need a read timeout. So it's going to be the time it will take for it to actually, the maximum time it takes for it to read, like the yes, more like time that you want to give it to do reading. So I want to do things within 1 minute. Everything should not be mass of 1 minute. So you can actually set it less. But let me just use 1 minute. So I'll say request time, QEST. If I had planned this, our class would be a lot more faster. So I'm actually doing all of this from my head, but I'm of course you're still learning from this. So request time. I want to do. I want to use time units. Let me see what this guy needs. Needs duration. So duration of minutes. Let me say 1. You require API level what? API level 26. All right, so I don't need you. Okay, I think I have, let me check this guy so we don't waste time on this. I should have something here. Okay. Time units. So I thought I could use long here. Okay, hey. Okay, no. Let me see. Read connects and writes. Read connects writes. How am I getting that? Coming. Time units. So I want it to be in. I want it to be in. No, let me use seconds. Let me use time units to seconds. Why was this guy showing me? Oh, I get it now. Sorry, I was the one confusing myself. So let me use. I was trying to create duration part, but I know most times I don't use duration. So most times I use long. So I was wondering why. So this what this means is this is the first constructor. This is another constructor. So it has multiple constructor. So let me take this to this part here, and I'm going to say it's going to be 30. So let me just put this here, and this is going to be, that's read timeout. We're going to have a write timeout. Want to be the same thing, and the connection timeout. So this connection timeout, what it means is, if it can't connect within that time, it's going to show you an error and say, okay, maybe the endpoint delay. You just show you an error. We're going to see things like that before now. So yes. So in terms of seconds, let me put 60 seconds here. Let me put 60 seconds. So this is not 60 seconds. So another thing is I want to add, okay, I've already added an interceptor, so we're good. So let me build this. Yes, let me build. And then we have our okay HTTP. You're following, tell me you're following. If you have questions, let me know if you have questions. So good. So at this point, I need to add clients. I need to add a client, and this I'm not using it now. I need to add this client to retrofit. This is the guy that actually going to do some of the core calls itself. So I'm going to add clients. So I think yes, should add clients. So I'm going to say get HTTP clients. So guys, this is our setup. So we've been able to actually so we've been able to actually create a retrofit client. Am I wrong? So we're able to do this. The last thing that we need to do is all of this. All we need actually, what we need to do now is we need to create our APIs itself. So we need to create a quotes API, enemy quotes API. It's going to be an interface because retrofit will be the one to make the actual implementation of those APIs. Yes. So, but we're going to create an interface and then determine the endpoint. So I'm going to say enemy quotes. Anime quotes API. And I want to be an interface. It should be an interface. And good. So let's do this. First thing first. I'm gonna show you how to use this without coroutines, but I think we'll just show you coroutines. So just go to the point, so we don't waste our time. Fun. I'm creating the endpoints now. So what do we need to do? Let's go to Postman and see some of all these endpoints that we've created. So first of all, we have an endpoint that says get all available animes. So get all available animes. Fun. Get all available animes. Okay. Animes title or animes or whatever. So that'll be a function request. So I'm going to make it a get request. So I'm going to make it a get request. That's one thing first. And I'm going to include within the get request, I'm going to include the value. I'm going to include the endpoints that I want this get request to point towards and get data from. So remember, we already have our base URL, and that's already been solved. I want to get the endpoints. So for this particular endpoint, remember that our base URL is stopped with API. So this part from here down will be our endpoint that I want to access. So I'm just going to put that there, and that's it. That's our distance. So what does it return? You're going to check for, we're going to study this and see what it returns. This is a list. It returns a list. When you see that, is this square bracket? When you see that, you know that this is a list. You can see the comma down, and that's a string. So this is a list of string. So that's what our endpoint is going to be giving us. So it's going to give us a list. Yes, it's going to give us a list of strings. Yes. And we're done with that one. So this doesn't require an header. It doesn't require an header and doesn't require us to submit any parameter. So that's it. So for the ones that requires us to submit parameters, I'm going to show you how they're going to look like. Now, this is just a public API. For most APIs that you're going to be using, you want to add a header. You're going to add a header for you to specify certain things that the API will require. So something like you're going to see something like maybe content type. So this particular content type is going to be no, am I doing something wrong? Yeah, I think so. This one is going to be so content type. Yes, let's see. I think I might be wrong. Application JSON. So you're going to be having things like this. What I'm thinking is I don't think there's no comma. There's no comma for it. So, but you're going to get something like this. I can't remember exactly, but if I have an issue, I just go to GitHub or I check my previous projects. So I'm not checking. Yes, I've done this a lot of times. I just check previous projects, but most of the time I don't do it here. When you start doing, you won't be adding headers here. You might just add it to your interceptor. So if you get to watch this video later in the future when you're a bit more mature, you understand more better. So, but this is it. We've been able to structure our endpoints. So let's structure another one. This is getting the list of anime names. I want to get quotes by anime title. So let me click on this one. Remember, I can still go to the site itself. You see, they're all here. So I was one that just went to test them on Postman, and I'm just checking it from there. So you can see, yes. So let me just go to Postman and be doing my thing from there. So this particular one gets quotes by anime title. Good. This has a query parameter. Whenever you see this question mark, it means the query parameter. It's a query parameter. So meaning you have to supply a particular value to a particular contract information. By contract information is they expect you to submit a title information, and that title information is going to equal to this value of Naruto. In this case, it's Naruto. And another situation might be which other cartoon do you know, anime do you know? You put it there. So let's create this particular endpoint on this thing. First of all, this is our base URL. So this guy here will become our endpoint. So I'm going to go over here and for what's the title? Get codes by anime title. So get codes by anime title. So so let's say I think it's a get also. It's a get, and let's provide the endpoint for it. So quote now, good, awesome. This is where the endpoint actually end. This is where the endpoint actually end. So this parameter of title, that is a query parameter, I need to include it. And the reason why you're seeing it like this, actually, it's I've actually passed the value here. Let's go to even the endpoint itself and see. Get anime by title. Okay, it's the same thing. So, but for the fact that I'm a bit mature, I know that this is a query parameter. So, in order for me to input my query parameter, what I can do is I'll come here and say at query. So, I'm going to say at query, and I'm going to pass in my title. That's the key, the contract key of remember let me go back. The contract key will be title. So I input title, and then dynamically, because we want to be changing this base calling it. So I want to call the information with Naruto and say get me code for Naruto, or get me code for so and so, get me code for what's the other name of that I get to watch sometime. So this would be a string. Let me string. So this title parameter now, this whatever we're passing as title is going to match to this key that is here. So at this point now, we don't need to, our endpoint does not need to be like this. We just need to end it like this. So retrofit HTTP clients, they'll be able to add it up for us. So for this query, and we'll be able to do that. So that's for the get codes by that guy. So let's create another one, maybe the last one before we start. So let me see what else we need to check for. Okay, 1, 2. Let's do this. Good. Let's try this other guy, which is this. This is not the same endpoint. Yes, this is not the same endpoint. It's not the same endpoint. It has a different base URL, a different everything. So I'm going to show you how we'll be able to actually use this same. So I'm going to create, first of all, I'm going to create a different. You guys are lucky actually. I'm going to create a different interface, and I'm going to name it let's say waffle images, or I don't know how those guys call their this particular guys. So I'm going to call it, let's say waffle API. WIFU waffle API. So, and I think they have just one point. No, they have a few endpoints. So this one is a get request for now, and there's going to be first of all, they have a type parameter like we did before. This is their base URL. Let me get the base URL out, and let me go to constants. So don't worry, I know what I'm doing. So let's name this let's rename this Shift F6. Let's rename this to anime base is a convention in within the Android world, Java, Kotlin, and the rest. When you have a constant, you name it like this. So I'll name this let's say waffle base URL. So it's going to be like this. So we have those guys, and let me go back and do this. So remember, these guys has a base URL, and then you have something that's this type parameter and category. So let me paste it here. Now, if you want to create this is a part. This is what we call parts. Remember that this type parameter and category, you can't just go and call it like that. Let me do it for you so you see. You can't just go and call it like that. It's you get 404. You get for you. Sorry why I did it here. So let me even create it for you so you see. Let me put this and then call it. So you get a 404 because it doesn't know what type it's, it doesn't know what category it is. They expected you to actually input. They expected you to actually input your own parameter. If you want to input it statically, you input it. You understand? But we need to do it in a way that is dynamic. So, okay, let me even show you. So you understand. If I do it this way also, which is I make it this way. Anytime anybody calls this endpoint, it's just going to be fetching blush, no matter how you call it. But we want it to be dynamic. So for the fact that we want it to be dynamic, first of all, we need to pass a type parameter. But since within this app, we just want to pass this particular type parameter, we can just add code this part. And so our type will be this guy. Then, or let me even do something. Let me see. So the things I'm showing you guys, just take note of them because it's I don't know. Of course, we can get this in some other place, but these are things that cost people a lot of time before they get to know all these things. And I'm trying my best, my literal best, to actually explain this thing for myself, on a very, very, very simple level. So I can put my type here. Since it's a constant feed, I can put it that way. So that's settled. For my category, I want my category to be a part because it's this that is there now. It's called, this is a placeholder, and another word we can call that to be what's this word now? I forgot the word, but it doesn't matter. So I want to make this a part. Look at what I did within it. I created this curly brackets. Is it curly bracket? They call it. I don't know. I didn't call it bracket. So what it means now is I'm going to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say add parts, and I'm going to make sure my contract or my key value, I'm going to make sure is exactly the same thing as category. I'm going to make sure it's exactly the same. Take note, I'm going to make sure it's exactly the same thing as category. So what will happen is, anytime I pass a new value for category, it's going to use it to replace this guy, which is this guy. So what will happen at the end of the day, if I pass in blush to this guy, this part will become blush. You get it now? So that's what's going to happen. So we've been able to solve it now. Our endpoint is now very dynamic. So congratulations, guys. If you've got to this point and you understand, amazing stuff for you. Amazing stuff. I know this took quite a while. Let's see, maybe by 10 o'clock we should be able to maybe stop and then we'll continue. But I want to make this a session whereby you go through this training, just get your data and then download them afterwards, or go through them, stream them. I want a session where you really understand what we're doing. You really, when someone says build an application, you know what's up, you know what to do. You get it now. So this is it. Yes. So we're able to create our API. So I'll go back to the trophy client, and I want to get our I want to get our different APIs. So I'll create a function. This will be our only public functions. So I'll say get anime API, and I want it to return to me anime API. I want it to return anime quotes API. And what I want to do here is I want to do get the trophies dot create. So I want to create a service. So the service I'm creating, actually, I want to create an API, a service class, which is a more like my API class. So what I would do is I will say anime API, quote API, anime code API, double colon, class.java. So with this, sorry, it's a method. Yeah, so let me return it. Virtual return. So that will give me that. Another thing is I can change this to become a var parameter. This can actually become this. Get a trophy. I'm just showing multiple ways in which this can be done, so that we see something else, you're not like, what's happening here? So this can become a get. This can become a get, and I just want it to be this guy. What I'm doing is I'm trying to expand I'm trying to open your mind up so you can actually solve things in literally different ways. You understand? There's a limitation. I'm doing this and I'm not even looking at anything. I'm just doing it because one thing you should, and don't cram anything, guys, please. That's my formula. Like, I don't know how to cram. I don't know how to cram literally. I don't know how to cram. So, and I don't expect all my students to cram. You need to understand what these things are, how they work. So that's the reason why I'm trying to break some things for you. Now, the reason why we're using a converter factory or JSON converter factory or JSON whatever is because those things are in the file we're getting from our servers and the rest is in JSON, is a JSON file. We need to convert that to become an actual file that we can use. So an actual file that is string, like your custom classes and whatever. So this will be the guy that will do the conversion for you. The client will be, this guy will be the guy talking to the internet and to sort the request timeout, just like that. You understand? These are visitor and so it can also be like this, and then get retrofit dot create dot this or this. So this will create So this is what we're going to be using to call our endpoints to our app. As it is like this is what we're going to be using to call our endpoints. So let me create another one. First of all, also, let me do some refactoring. Refactoring, I think I need to convert this back to become a function. It needs to become a function. Yes. I want to ingest my base URL. Into this. I want to ingest it because I want that class to be reusable. I want this function to be reusable. Yes. Now, one thing you should understand is anytime you do something twice, these are secret I'm sharing with you. Anytime you do something twice, know that you might be doing something wrong. What I want to do is I'm going to put this here. So this guy will do that. Then I'll do another one that we get waffle. Get waffle API. And this is going to be it's going to give waffle base URL. So you saw what I did now. So with this, I'll be able to actually create you don't need to duplicate this because that's what most have done. That's what I see. Professionals, not the one. I'm not talking. Maybe you get waffle. So let's say get waffle trophies, and then well, you can see it like this, and then this will be the waffle guy. This guy will be here, and like this. They call get waffle trophy. So by that, you don't need this guy anymore. It's still the same thing. But most times you see now this is duplication of code. You don't need that. You don't need that. So let me undo. And as much as possible, you want to reuse things. You want to reuse things. So I'm using this function. I'm using all of this. There's no duplication. So that's for that. So if I want to call anime API, I'll call this guy. If I want to call or like I just say get photo API. Let me just say get photo API. So we must not use that those guys name everywhere. So get photo API, get anime quotes API. Yeah. So if you understand up to this point, I want to say congratulations, kudos. Yes, yeah, for real. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you understand at this point, if you have a question, of course, you can reach out to me. There's no issue. For those of you that reach out, of course, I will respond. So yes. So let's proceed. Now I'm doing all of this off my head, and that's really why it's going to take a bit of time since I didn't press lights and some of all these things. So what will be the next thing for us to do? Good. Now this will take us to the next part of creating an architecture. So there are different forms of architecture. We have MVI, MVS, MVC, we have MVVM, we have a whole lot. So these are ways in which you can actually create a system where a system that make reusing code easier for us, a system that make just creating architecture and making things, it makes it a lot more easier for you. You understand? So people have been able to adopt different methods so far. But at a point, several years ago, Google had to come up with their own standard and say, okay, let's go with MVVM. And you know that for them being the bigger boys, and then they create all the different classes for us, create the APIs, and just for all these things. Because of course, if they recommend something, you just have to follow suit because they've tested it, of course. So I'm going to create an architecture. So I'm going to create a different package, and I'm going to call this package architecture. You can name it whatever name you want to name it. Let me just call it architecture. I don't know. Architecture. Okay. So the first class I'm going to create a repository class. So this particular repository class is going to be the class that will actually in Java, not Java. I'm using Java on this particular project. So I'm using Kotlin. So I'm going to create a repository. So let me name it API repository because for the situation we want to create a local repository like Room database repository and all of that. So you create a repository for that and create this one for this, or you can create one repository. So this repository class is more like a class that actually does all the business logic. It talks to, if you want to get things from API, it relates to API. If you want to talk to you want to get things from the local database, it talks to the database. So your activity or your view model should not have any concern with knowing where data is coming from. It's just like having you, for instance, now you're still kid. For those of us that are really young, you're in school. For those of you that know you're in school and then you still live with your parents, you don't really know where the money comes from, but you just know at the end of the day, or not even at the end of the day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening, you get to eat. You don't know where the food is coming from. Yes, those are things that that you have to make sure you're up and running, and then you sound, and then you can eat. You understand? You know the headache you have to go through. Of course, when you become a man, you know what's up. You get it down. But that's the way abstraction is. That's the way God created things. Some people should not be exposed to certain information about you until they become your friend. When people get certain information about you and they're not your friend, it just means you're very, I don't know the kind of person you are, of course. I'm using real life to explain this kind of terminology so you understand what we're trying to do. So retrofit, our main activity, activities and fragments, they're going to be saying, guy, give me data, please. I want data. I want so and so. I want animates. I want quotes. They don't care where you get the information from. So that's the reason why we're structuring things like this. So I'm going to say, let me call it a repository. So of course, there's no one calc fit all. What I'm doing now, it's the basic pattern. But at some point, we're going to be trying to be creative. So you can use one repository. You can create multiple repository. It still work. Repository. All right. So this will be the class that will be I'm using Dagger. I'm not using Dagger. Sorry. I think I want this. Let me use this to be. Let me make this an object class. Yeah. Let me make an object class. And number one, I want this to give me just to get photos. Get photos. Or get photo. Get category photo. Category photo. And this is going to be category. Sorry. Type string. And this, of course, is going to call. Let me create my retrofit class. Let me call my retrofit instance. So let me say get retrofit private var, of course. Get retrofit or retrofit. I think that would be better. API. Anime quotes API is equal to we're going to say retrofit clients. Remember, this is an object class. If it's not an object class, let me convert it to become an object class. It's an object class can still work. These things, it's better for them to be objects. By objects, I mean singletons. Better for them to be singletons. So if you're coming from the Java world, all you just need to do is you create your class, and then you have to create maybe get instance. You need to create a get instance class and all of that. So I'm not teaching Java. So Java I would have been able to explain it to you. So this is it. So I'm calling this guy though because this is a private function. We don't need to know. We don't need to expose the trophy, of course. We don't need to expose this guy. We don't need to expose this guy. We don't need to know where it's coming from. I just want my API. Get it now. So I'm exposing these APIs, but these are the things I actually want. So I'll come back here and say retrofit.get. So get anime API. So I've been able to get anime API. Let me replicate this and then get photo API. So get photo API. So this give me my photo. That'll be my photo API. So for this particular get category photo, does that make sense? Get category photo. Get photo by category. Let me get photo by category. Okay. So I'm going to say photo API dots. Of course, it has only one class. Oh, this is wrong. If it is giving me this, then this is wrong. So yes, that is wrong. Let me go back here. No, yeah, this is why it's wrong. So I want that waffle API guy. I want this guy. So and yes, that's what I want. I'm going to change this. And yes, so this guy dots. It's going to be only one. Good. I need it's just one When we checked this part, it was just one part they exposed. Okay, not one part, but the other things they exposed, so you can check it. Receive 30 unique images from a specific endpoint or category. Wow. I think we should use this one. Or let's see. Okay, that's you can get 30 particular endpoints. So this will be a post request. And yes, so in a situation where we need more than one, I'll specify. And yes, I'll specify. Or we can even include it here. I can say single. Single. That's I wanted to bring single, or let me give it a default value of true. So what we'll do later on is we're going to make the same endpoint fetch 30 or fetch 1 if we want. But let's make it single by default. So I'm going to pass category here. And yes, that should be it. But remember, this thing, we need to return it. We need to return it. And for returning it, uh-oh, why is it not complaining? Okay, because unit parameter. So we'll get quotes by anime title. Let's go and check those endpoints again. This particular one that shows the type and category. Let's go to Postman. So this was the part that we were using before that shows category and that. No, don't save. Don't save. Go there over here. Good. So this is Botch. We can do another one. I think we can do keys. There's a case and see. So we're going to get images of case. We're getting one, for this time one. Okay, so this for the photo part, and it's sending us just a string. It's just a string. So this will be, sorry, this will be gets. Let me check. Let me go gets. Let me rename it. So something more appropriate. So get photo by category. And voila, I think we're good. So it is returning, you can see that it's returning an object. This is actually an object, actually. So, and that object actually contains URL. So I can name this object. Let me name this object. This is an object. When you see this curly bracket, it's an object. Yes. So when you see, let me show you another one. When you see this one, this square bracket, that's a list. That's an array. That's a list. So this is an object. I mean, I'm showing you how to interpret JSON now. So that's an object, and yes, so this is an object. So it means we need to create an object of this guy. So there are ways in which you can create it. There are, I have a particular this that I use to generate classes. You don't need to create them yourself. But at this level, you want to create them yourself so you understand what's going on. So I'm going to create another package, and I'm going to call it model. In fact, no, don't need to put it in the API. I'm going to create another package, and I'm going to call it models. And let me name this photo. So the class will be called photo. So the class will be called I have to give someone a thumbs up. Yes, the class will be called photo. Yes, so within that photo, we have, this is a, let's interpret this. So this is a string. Of course, our keys have to be strings. This is a string. This is a string. That's why you have double quotes. So this is our contract. This is our key. if I come to my app and then I say, what I can do here is I can say URL of type string. Yeah, of type string. Sorry. So this would be I want to be var. And I want this to be a data class. In data class now, because there's a lot we need to explain. So other interesting mentors, amazing mentors. So this forms this that you're seeing here. So because these are key of URL. If I come here now, because I'm using this exact key. Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry for that. It works because it's going to work. So it's going to map this key to that. But as a prevention, more like as a caution, just be careful. What you can do is you have to add at serialize. I'll show you what this thing means now. At serialize name. So what this thing means is I want to pass the value of it, and then I whatever I want to name it. It's like photo URL. What's happening? Sorry guys, I've been coding since morning. I had to create 2 libraries for something very important, and that really took my time. I almost wanted to cancel this class, and but I had to just keep up. So I think it was part of why I was trying to get my foot in. I couldn't actually prepare the class, but at least nice. We're doing this, and it's interactive in my opinion. And I believe I'm as explanatory as possible. Guys, this is 10 o'clock. I plan on stopping by 10 o'clock, but I'll still continue. So let's see if we can make a first call and get something up and running. Nice. So we have an emulator showing some things. Maybe that's a patch, but no problem. So good. You see, I can name this whatever I want to name this. I don't care. But I know, of course, I need to name it. I need to be pragmatic. I need to be pragmatic because number one, I won't be able to developer and will work on this project later on. So I need to use names that explain what I'm trying to do, the business logic of things. So photo URL makes sense. You understand? But if I want to remove this guy now, by this I've been able to actually protect this variable, and it won't get a crash. It will always be able to map it to this particular guy. So if I want to remove this, what will I do now, guys? What will I do? If I want to remove this, I will have to make sure I name it exactly how it is. So I'll just take it to this way, and I'll push this code to GitHub later on. So we'll check it. We'll check it out, and then yes, I'll push the code to GitHub so you can actually check. You can check what we're doing. So this with this. So let me go back to our Waffle API. So this guy, I'm going to put photo here. So this guy is going to send me back. It's going to return photo for me. So because these guys are sending me photo or the photo URL or whatever, you can name it photo URL. It still works. If you want to be very exact, so photo URL that works. So my class now photo URL. So enough of that, and let me go back to the repository. So by the time I return in, this guy is going to complain because it requires a photo URL, and I've been able to do that for it. Now I'm thinking, because if I wanted to do this as a professional application, there's some things I'm going to do here. So I'm thinking if I should teach you the way a professional will actually code this up, or just for this to actually work, so you understand what's going on. Okay. What should I do? All right. So on this particular point, let me use coroutines. let me add coroutines to it. So that by adding suspend here, because first of all, what I was doing here, this is wrong. First of all, this is wrong, like very wrong. What it means is I'll be making API calls. By this means I'll be making API calls on the UI thread. Like literally, I've just been calling it directly. So I'm supposed to use, if I was using Java, I was supposed to use something like iOS Java, or I was supposed to use something like, of course, I can't use live data here. I can use live data if I want to. But it makes sense when you get a stream of things. So yeah, also because I added this thing, we can use flow. Not that one, this one. We can use flow, but I'm not going to teach you flow now because I'm not going to talk about state flow and some of these newer things. I'm going to use live data, so you understand live data, and I'm going to show other things, and I'm going to talk about coroutines. So this is coroutines. By including this suspend function, what I'm trying to say is underneath the hood, I want to run this particular call on a separate worker thread. So I'm going to suspend the function. So by suspending function, what by suspending means I'm going to create something different, and that guy is going to do all the work. When it's ready for me and it has results, it's going to tell me, guy, man, I'm ready for you. I have results, and then it's going to stop becoming a suspend function, and it's going to send me back my result within a particular scope. Yeah, a coroutine scope. Good, interesting. So let me explain the concept of scope, because this application we're building, I want to use it to explain all your questions. So we'll get to places like we'll get to main activity. I'll start explaining things like concept and some of these other things, content, contest, and some of these other things that are here. So we're not here yet. Set action bar, some other things. But I'm going to be explaining things across board as we proceed. So for those of you that are still watching, let me know, should we stop this class here or should we proceed? So we'll make our first call. But before we can make our first call, I think we can make the first call and then log it and see. And then we'll think of creating UI. But what's up? Let me get feedback from you. What should we do? Are you guys good? Are we good? You can reply here. Are we good? For those of you that are following, so let me know what's up. But let me still proceed for now. So I've created this suspend function, meaning I am adding coroutines to this. Yes, I'm adding coroutines to this. So let me do the same thing for these other guys. So yes, so I'm using coroutines for all of this. That's this now. So I'm come here now. This is it. For the fact that a suspend function can only be called from another suspend function or a coroutine scope. So let's check and see the error. That's what it's going to tell us. Suspend function should be called from coroutine or another suspend function. So let me make it a suspend function. So another thing also is this particular call can fail. This particular call that is there can fail. So if it fails, our program is going to crash. So, and it's very wrong for a program to crash. Very, very, very wrong for a program to crash. Very wrong. So what I want to do is I'm going to build this application like I'm building a call application for my company. You understand? Like something that, so this should be a tutorial that a learning of something that professional can go through, should go through and get things from it. All right, no problem. I enjoy my job. So thanks for following. We had Kevin said we can continue. Kevin, thanks for following and thanks for replying. Nice one. I enjoy my job. So I don't know, I enjoy what I do. I can actually code for 24 hours. I'm just saying, but for real, I enjoy doing what I do. So even though when I'm tired, I still code. So it's, I don't know, I'm addicted to it. I enjoy it. So let me continue. I don't have a problem. Besides, guys can come and stream this later on when they're free. So that being said, I want to do something. I want to create. I want to manage this thing myself in a way that Because if I make this call, something might be wrong. I might have done something wrong, or the API might be 40. It sends me a 500, something 500s, meaning server error, or a 400s, meaning something is wrong, obviously, from my end. Maybe my authentication is wrong, or something is wrong, or something. Or maybe or you have to get 300, or you get 200, and then it's successful, something like that. But I want to create different edge cases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to utils, and then I'll create what I'll call, I want to name it, you can name it anything, but let me call it results, because that's more generic. So let me call it results, SURT. So I want to create a generic class. And guys, I don't know, have you guys been taught generics before? I've been taught generics before. I don't know if I taught, I can't remember the last class I did. I don't know if I touched it. But let me see if I can touch it. So I'm going to be teaching everything across the board, like I said. Yes, let me see if I can touch it. So the concept of generics, what it means is, which example should I give now? What if I say, I gave an instance last time, the last tutorial, the last, live class we had. Let's say your dad said, your dad is a friend of Dangote. For those of you watching across from other time zone, Dangote is the richest man in Africa, in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, and Bogo is my name. So Dangote, my dad is a friend, or your dad is a friend of Dangote, and Dangote tells your dad and say, okay, all right, Emma, please, or your dad's name, I want you to come and get so and so amount of dollars. And your dad was like, man, I won't be chance, so I have certain other businesses to attend to, but I'm going to send any of my sons. Any of my sons is not something generic, because Dangote imagining your sons, but yes. So let me just flow. So let me do a quick one. Let me say, number one, good things like lists. Things like lists. Things like lists now. This is generics you're seeing here, because this list can actually accept any type. So whatever you put into it, that's what it's going to give back to you. So I can even say a list of results. This result that I just created. Sorry. And it's going to get a list of that. I'm just giving an instance. So I want to be very practical. So let me find instances that can come out of my mind right now. Yes, let me go back to this endpoint and see how we can, what we can do to this. If we can create generics of this. This is a list of string. And, okay, I'm not going to be able to know what's going to return. Okay, let me leave that. So, but I want to make this class generic, and I want to make this class a C class. I want to make it a C class. Let me make it a C class. So by making a C class, I don't know if you guys have learned C class also, but what it means is it's more like enum on steroids. Enums gives you an ability to actually create constants, controlled constants. You understand? So because you can say a parameter is accepting string, and someone just, let's say a string of age, or a string of, let's say a string of age. You want to be passing age within strings, so you just put 30 or 40 or 50. That's what the particular function accepts. Somebody can just come and say, I want to pass in, my name is, it passes that to your function, and your program crashes, because your program was expecting 30, 40, 21, whatever. So I convert that string to become a bool, to become an integer, or or a float or double, and the guy actually passed a string that could not be converted. So with an enum, you actually create controlled constants. You understand? But this C class took it way further. More like you're not just passing constants this time around, a controlled scenario or a controlled environment. You can actually pass data also. So what will happen is I want to create results. I want to create different situations that can happen within my result scenario. I want a loading situation. I want my success case. So let me say I want it to be a data class. You can create any kind of class actually. And I want success is SS. So this particular success is going to get my data. It's going to pass my data to me. It's going to pass my data to me. And I want my data to be good. This is where generics come into play now. My data can actually be anything because I don't know what my data will be like. Within this particular anime, this get quotes anime by title. This particular endpoint is providing a list of string. This one is providing photo URL. I don't know what this one will provide. When we get there, we'll face it. So it means we need to use a generic. It's generic. You understand? So my result now, I want my data to be generic. Since I want my data to be generic, I'm going to make this of any type, a generic type. So let me create a generic type here. So I want to make this my result type, a generic type. So I'm going to put whatever you want to put in. We'll use T generally. You can name it anything. I can name it Emma and that becomes my generic type. So you can name it anything. So that's it. So you can use V, whatever, but let me use T. I like T actually. So I want my data type to be of type T. So the reason why it cannot recognize T is I need to pass that into, I need to make this guy, also a generic class so that I can accept that. And of course, being a C class, it should extend results being a C class. So yes, so you should extend results. Let me see if I can do this. No, don't accept. So it should extend results. So I want my data to pass from this success case. Also, I think I want a message scenario. If I want to pass any message, and I want that to be a string, my message will only be message. So it can be a string. And would I need anything? Would I need anything else? Okay, if I need anything else, I'll include it as we proceed. That's my success case. I want to get a failure case. Most times, if I get a failure case, I'm going to get an exception class. Exception class actually extends the throwable class. You understand? So that's a class that handles all forms of error. So a throwable class, and then we have error class also. We have the error class in itself. So error class, but most times you won't see error class, but error class actually is used by whole library guys or people that are actually creating some of what we call classes, so they can use it on any level. So I want to create a failure scenario, and interesting, nice one. So, but I don't want to pass. I want this guy. I don't want to pass anything because my failure is not going to. It's not going to need that. I want my failure case to have a showable instance. So just give me my error. Give me my error. So this should be showable. So being that, now look at this now. Since this guy is not the generic class, we have an issue, man. We just run into an issue because this actually know what is except if find it. But at this point, I don't want this. There's no need. I'm not using this. I'm not using a generic type here. But what do I do now? So on this particular point, what I can do actually, and I can't say I want to do this like this because it won't work because the real original guy needs that parameter. So what I can do here is I can pass the nothing not unit. Unit. I'm not sure unit works. I'm not using it before, but I think it works. So I can pass units there. But one thing that I use most of the time is I can pass in nothing. There's a nothing. There's a nothing parameter. There's a nothing class. So yes, it's another class that does nothing. You see that I didn't do any implementation. So at least you know this now. So I can pass in nothing there, and that forms my previous scenario. My loading scenario will just load. There's a big deal to it. So I can actually use an object class for, and then I'll say loading. So, and I want this guy to extend. I want this guy to extend results and of type. Let me see nothing. Sorry. Yes. Should do that. So, what I'm doing here is I want to be able to. I want to control my destiny. I want to handle this different scenario. That's the reason I created this class. So I want to handle different scenarios that could possibly happen when I make any call. Because when I make this call, anything can happen, and you don't want such situations in your life. So if I want to relate this to life, a lot of us will work for companies, but that's not really. It makes sense if that's what you want to do. You're passionate about it. It makes sense. If you're really good with your job, people won't play with you. That's a nice thing about being good with your job. But also you could actually move way further and then start creating companies or start doing some things because you don't know if your employer will still be in. Some people work with startups and small companies, and then somebody just comes up one day and says, we're bankrupt and we can't continue any further. That means you need to start looking for a job. So what I'm trying to say is you need to plan your life in a way that you can handle different edge cases. So that no matter what happens, you don't get a crash in life. Or whatever what happens, we don't get a crash on our anime app. So what I'm going to do here is, what I want to do is, I want to make this call, and this is going to be my cut. This is going to be, let me call it my response, because it's going to give me my response since it's a this thing. And yes, it's going to give me my response. And first of all, let me wrap this within a try catch block, because for me to avoid, we have gone to another topic now. All right, what we'll call error handling in the programming. So you need to catch certain errors or certain things so your program does not crash. You don't catch it. You catch and you can throw back. You can catch and throw. So I want to do this thing because I know something can happen. So I want to be a bit precautious. So I'm going to do this, and something can happen. So I'm going to get certain things, certain errors. So I want to catch exception. I can get any form of exception. So, oh no, let me use throwable. Yeah. So I can get any form of exception. So let me be precautious. So I want to return whatever happens to be the result of these particular cases, but I will make sure, no, let me do that. I'll make sure I return this particular result created here. Now, so what I will do, this is result of it. And process actually needs it response dot what was this guy give me now? Response dot photo URL. That'll be my data. Then remember it's a generic type, so that's the reason why it was able to accept that this is photo URL now. But since I'm using generic, this thing called photo URL. That means the way this guy will be seeing it, will be seeing it as photo URL at this point. So of course, what I don't want to do it like I say, it's more generic, other people can still use it. So it's accept that, I want to get a message. So I want to get a response. Oh, I won't be able to get a message because this API is not sending anything. So, but I could do no, I can't do response. I can get my URL code, but let me update this. So I'll just go to success and let me remove, or let me just say, yeah, sorry. I can say um photo URL fetched successfully. This may not be the best way to write it, but you understand. Successfully. Oh boy. Minute, guys. Let me. Okay. I was trying to see if uh, I was trying to see if yes, I was trying to see if sorry, I have to check my phone, try to see if another mentor was there, and so when I want to shut down, it'll be able to shut it down for us. Or if he has given me any warning, but we can still continue. So these are success case. So but anything that go wrong here, so that's the reason I'm catching it. So if it goes wrong, I want to submit a result dot failure case. So I'll just pass this e guy since I'm expecting a throwable. And yes, so let me return that instead. So if I'll return what these guys are returning. So it's going to what is going to return for me now would be a photo. Sorry, what is going to return? So it's going to return. It's going to. Let me do it myself. All right. So give me results. Just give me results of. Just give me result. My success scenario is photo URL. So I'm going to put that success scenario, what I really expect. So that's what I'm going to put my success. That's what I want to return. But this guy is going to be, I think this guy can be nullable. Let's see, let me check something. Found string. Why are you saying string? Found string. I don't understand where you found string. Guys, a minute. This is what we go through as developers. So results of type that's okay, sorry. This guy is already giving us a photo direct. Me checking it, I'm going to, what I was doing here was dot files it. So my response is already my photo URL. You get it down. So another thing is, this guy is returning result dot failure. And what was required is that guys to solve this one. This is supposed to work. Okay. Since that guy don't want to accept it, let me do something. Let me cast this to Let me make this equal and remove this guy. Still give me the same error. So I'm not allowed to. Sorry. So I actually have that case to handle. Sort of failure. This is also a result now. Okay, guys, sorry. Let me. This happens once in a while, so it happens once in a while. So my failure case. Nothing. And okay, maybe I've forgotten something. So let me see if I could. Okay, I have a few project opened. Let me see what I can. Which project will I go and open and check? Okay, I don't know why I'm getting this, but I'm not supposed to actually get this, but I'm getting it, of course. Meaning I'm doing something wrong. So, result of failure. Okay, let me check. Let me check all the projects I've done before. I'll try not to expose some crucial information. And, let me see if I can just go to repository. So, guys, just give me a minute, please. Let me shut down. I do need to, when you start working with a company, there are lots of things you just, the information you do need to get across. What I'm doing now, this class is going to be, live. So I work with JIGM. I will produce amazing products. So, some of these things are not yet they're not yet outside. So, you get, so I have to make sure I want to go check something and see what is it I'm doing here that is wrong, and then let me just check. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop my share and share back. So yes, which of the API should I look at? Okay, this one is there. C3. Okay, I'm using flow, yeah. So this might not be the best project to look at. Okay, because I'm coming. Let me go to this guy. A minute, guys, please. I'm coming. I have to open a new project and check something. So repository will be around Damn. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. I'm here already. So I'll switch up in my system is slow. Sorry. So sorry. The reason why it's like this is, of course, if I've done a live class, if I've done a recorded class, I would have been able to edit some of all these parts and then just you know, show you what you need to see. So okay. So I don't even know what this is. Exactly what I did. So I don't know why this has to be this. So we have to go and battle our problem ourselves, obviously. So okay. So let me come back up and share my screen. All right. So I'm sharing my screen. So it was actually the same thing. So I don't know why I'm having this. The only difference was that I used exception in the other case, but that doesn't really matter. So let me see what. Okay. Let me do something. Response. Second function. So I'm coming, please. So this is what happened when you're creating your own. This you actually go as a developer, you go through issues. So you go through issues. When you're even done with your application, you still have to fix some bugs. So let me see. So if that is my response, and then I return response. Okay. I think I might need this out guide. That will solve my issue. Yeah. Damn, I forgot that. How do I explain in and out for you? So what that means is what I'm explain this out. No. I can't remember everything. I remember most things, but I've forgotten how to explain this out part. So let me click on it. Or is a keyword that I can actually click on. So what it means is you should be able to actually you'll be able to actually export. Okay, what I'll do is I'll make a little search about it so I'm more precise. But there are ways that we can actually make generic more in a way that you can actually export things that fall. Now you can see that anything that is a subchild of results, all of these are all children of results. So meaning I should be able to actually export non-specific. I should be able to export things that still falls within it as a child also, and it doesn't. I don't know how to be very specific about it. So let me be more. Let me refer to my code and inline it. So it becomes this, and this is it now. So guys, this is it. We've been able to actually create. We factor this our code base. In fact, if you can do this, this is a lot of people don't know how to do this. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people that a lot of people don't know how to do this. So you're seeing this is a privilege, and yes, you've been able to actually handle the several cases that will actually result from an API call. Like this is crash proof. That's what it is. This is crash proof. So this is crash proof, and yes. So if there's an error case, it answers it. If there's an success case, it answers it. So what will happen is I want to create my live data, but I'm going to create lots of live data. So I still have a view model, but on this particular scenario, I think I'm going to be creating just one from now. So let me make it a general live data for now first. Then depending, we might see if each of our classes. I don't know how many classes we're going to build. I mean, by views, I don't know. But we're just building this thing as it goes. Like I didn't plan for it, but we're just doing it as it goes. So what will happen is I'm going to create my. Okay, let me create other ones too. Let me create other ones. So this particular one will be for. Let's go to this guy's home. Let's close this guy. Close this guy. And yes, I want to get available animes. So this will be available animes, and it doesn't accept anything. It returns a list of string. So meaning our response will be a list of string as of this time. Sorry, available. Sorry, not photo API now. This will be anime code API. So it doesn't require anything to get available animes. It doesn't require anything. So we're going to delete all of these guys. Sorry. So remove this one. And it's returning a list of strings. So meaning this guy was going to be a list of strings. So it'll be a list of string. So that has actually solved that problem for us. So names or available names fetched successfully. This one might not be the best way to name it, but let's leave it at that for now. Available names, available enemies. Is there a plural for enemies? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if there's a plural for fetch successfully. So we've been able to sort this one. So let me guess the last one. Then we'll create a live data, we'll create a view model, and then from there I'll be able to explain live data. So I'm explaining everything that we talked about across board. So let me go back to particular thread. What's that? So I think that Lambda is no big deal. We'll talk about it. I've talked about trading a bit because we since we're using coroutines, coroutine is going to create worker thread for us. So we're not talking on the main thread. So everything we're doing, all the forms of logic we're doing them on main thread normally. So but by using coroutine, we'll be able to create several other threads, worker threads. So that is server trading. I'll talk about navigation. So I'll talk about coroutines. Talk about coroutines by adding that suspend function, and across board when we start solving, so solve that. So navigation, of course, that's something we're going to solve. View binding, there's no problem about that. I think even database might really over time be not touched within this particular distance. So okay, that's that. Clean architecture, of course. Cleaner is extremely clean, like super clean. Yeah, like clean, like get like bling bling. Get so don't mind me. So all of this we're going to talk MVVM, of course. We're doing the MVVM. Yeah, API calls. We're doing all of that. Yes. So yes. So let me go back to this part and see. Let's create the last one. Get quotes by. Let's actually finish quotes. Get quotes by anime title. So fix this title. This which is the query parameter. I've explained this before. So let me send. Let's see what is going to give you, so we know how to match data class for it. Awesome. So what is this giving us? It's giving us anime. So the particular anime is giving us character. It's giving us quotes. So this in itself is an object. Now I told you that when you see this, you know it's a list. So this, are you seeing it now? This is a list of whatever we have to name this. So let me just say, I'll name this anime quotes. Anime quotes. So I'm going to show you. I've explained how to do this first of all, and we went to model, we created photo URL, mark that first one. So we can actually recreate this ourselves, but there are other ways. When you start building for we start remember it's very good to when we start building for companies, of course, it won't be this simple. It won't be this simple. You will be consuming endpoints that you'll be seeing error cases. You have to use generics. You have certain things that repeat across. Um, um, just like that, you get it. So it's not going to be this simple. So you're going to get something like that shows you the code, the data, and some other things, lots and lots of objects. So I'm going to show you something I use because I want to make this class encompassing, highly resourceful, like highly resourceful. Of course, you're not paying for it, but you get what we have to do. So what I use is there's a plugin I use. It's called Kotlin Data Class from JSON. So what you can do is you can go to settings or let's go to settings. Go to plugin. So you go to plugin. You can go to marketplace and then you search for JSON to Kotlin class. Go to marketplace, search for JSON to Kotlin class. These is I'm showing are things that I know guys that have lots of experience. These are some of the some of the things I'm showing are things that they you get it that they know. So you privilege. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Privilege. So JSON to Kotlin class. You should be able to see the plugin. There are lots of plugin, of course, that you could install, and then it's really help you. AI applications and some other things. I don't know, is it my network that's making this not to load fast? So, but get it and install it. When you install, you see install and all of that. So let me leave that because of time. So I'm going to close this, but that's it. So what will happen is when you go to file and you want to create a new this thing, it can just create it for you. You just have to set it up actually. So I can click on this and then I put I copied it from here actually. So I can copy the list of that. I just copied the one particular item of it. So I'm going to name this anime quotes. OT anime quotes. And you can go to advanced and set it up. I've already set it up. I want bar. I want it to determine this. There are other things you can set up. So just like that. But That's the setup that I want. So I'm going to generate it. So it has generated that class for me. So this that I did there, it has generated a class for me. So what will happen now is let me move this to model. Yeah, move it to model. Cannot set package. All right, no problem. I'll set it myself. So okay. All right. So oh, sorry, that was not the guy I wanted to move. I'm sorry. Oh, say I cannot move. All right, let me undo this guy. Okay. I'm having issues with the place I actually created that particular class. I didn't check forward. No, let me just undo. Let me undo. Okay. Or let me check for quotes. What did I name it? Anime quotes. Okay, is that a root folder of things? Then. So I want to move it to models because that's where I want my model classes to be from the API. So you can see that it has, yes, I have my anime, I have my character, I have my quote. So this is this. So that's been done for me. So what is being returned on this particular API, which is get quotes, you saw it here. So this is a list of these things, of these items. So I'm going to come here and say, please submit me a list. Submit me a list of anime quotes. Yes. So anyway, I'm actually done. So I'll go back to my repository and get quotes by anime title. Okay. Okay. So get quotes by anime title. All right. So and it's going to return. Let me do get quote by anime title, and it accepts. It needs a title parameter. So let me just take this guy, put it there. So it needs this guy. So I'm going to pass this guy down. It needs a title param. So I'm going to pass this guy down. And so this particular scenario in my return. What's happening? Okay, it needs to return a list of anime. So anime codes or what? Yeah, anime codes. So yes, so our error case is done. Good, we're done. Because this level and you understand, I want to say kudos, congratulations, amazing stuff. It's nice to use to be. So what I'll do now is I want to create a so if later on you start you just want to create that with dependency injection, you create a package for it. The package like you create a package and doing it. So that will be some of other things a bit differently. Flow is almost the same thing, but this is standard stuff. Standard stuff. So and then I'll go to let me create a new view model. There are two view model name model. Of course, when you start building a large application, you can't name it anime view model because you're going to have lots and lots of view model that handle different cases. So you won't just have one master. You can have one master view model, but those are things I did when I was building older projects. So I prefer to have my own view model handle certain logic within a particular fragment or a fragment, or a fragment, that a list of fragments, set of fragments that does similar things. So this will be a class, and this class is going to extend view model. So there are two ways you can extend view model for your level, and you can actually extend view model in itself. And the another thing is you can extend Android view model. So this one, if you want to get this one, return to you the application class. So we need to get an application class. Application. So we get an application class, and no, we pass it to this guy because it requires an application. You need that. So you can do it like this. So when you want to create room database, you can use Android room model. It makes a lot of sense because it's you have the application class, but that guy needs application class. So, but in this situation, I don't need application for anything. So I'm going to use normal view model. But for each of them, you cannot pass in. I cannot come and create and let's say title or something. It's going to crash. So I need to create what we call a factory method to be able to actually inject things into view model. Naturally, you can't inject things into view model. Most of the time, you won't want to inject things into view model. So you're doing complex stuff. If you're doing complex stuff, you might want to use Dagger, and it's a lot more easy for you. So let me leave that. I've advertised Dagger a lot. I'll talk about state flow. No, I won't talk about state flow. I think I'll talk about live data. So what I want to do now is some of those things that we've done with our anime. Let me close anime quotes. We've done with it. Photo URL, we've done with it. Constant for now. Build content main. I think that's someone we'll go to later on. So my repository, all those guys, I want to be able to access all of them within my view model. And then from there, I should be able to do other things. So first of all, I want to say from get photo. Let me just go and copy. Sorry, I'm lazy. That's why I'm doing this. But this is not what you're supposed to do. But let me just get this guy. So for yes, get this guy. Get this guy. So I'm not actually lazy. I'm a very hardworking person actually. So, but I don't like to be rewriting stuff. That's what I meant. So yes, then I want to get my repository instance. So what I would do is I will, depending on how I want it to be, I think if application run for the first time, we don't want to click on any button for it to launch anything. So we want it to just fetch data for us. So I don't know what we're going to fetch next, but let me just say I want to fetch. I think I want to fetch all the list. I want to fetch a list of at least the movies that we have access to, the animes that we have access to, that we can see quotes on. So let me do that first. So within my init block, I can actually, I don't need to even create an init block. I can just, okay, let me just say within my init block. Oh, let me leave that. So let me just say private bar repository repo. If I want to make it equal to, let me make it a get parameter. I want to make it equal to repository. So our repository is actually wow, we made it an object class, so we don't really need to even do this. We don't need to do this. So being an object class, we can just use it. Yeah. And just use it. All repos repository still work. So what will happen is I can say repo, repo dot get photo by category, and I want to pass my category parameter to it, and include the single parameter. But on this particular point, this is a suspend function. Two things is going to happen. At this particular level, I want to translate this to become a live data. I want information to that. I want information to be observed within my views. I just wanted to observe. I don't want to know anything that's going on. I just wanted to observe. So yes, so get photo by category. It does that, and so what I would do is this is what I would do. First of all, I can say I can create a live data. I can create a live data. I can use a top level function, an extension function, live data, a live data function. So this live data function, it takes a particular type actually, and I think it collects a scope also. Collects a scope, I think. So a coroutine scope. So I want this particular thing to be launched on the background thread. I want to specify the thread. I want the scope. Now, let me explain something about scoping so that you understand some things. So, wow, this is 11 o'clock. Damn. I'm not sure we're going to have part 1 and part 2. Or this will be a 5-hour class, which is a very long one. Guys, let me drink water, please. Let me get water and drink water. My voice is my throat. Oh, yeah. So, this is quite some time. So there's no problem. I don't know how long this class is going to take, because what I want to create, I want us to create a full-fledged application, actually. A full-fledged modern application that is up to the task. Like out of the box, I was doing this in a raw, natural way, and I'm using it to explain all the concepts to you. That is my intention, actually. So yes. So you can use this to do anything for any company, and it's work like real. So this was a coroutine scope. Like let me explain scoping. Like I said, now the different forms of scoping. Let me go to main activity. The different forms of scoping. So yes, scoping it means several things. Now, first of all, good. Now this is main activity. This is on create function. I can say var title is equal to, let's say, the title of a movie. Which movie will come to mind? Money Heist. Money Heist, right? So this is the title, and then somewhere here I want to use title for something. So I want to say character, movie character in character in movie. I'm just doing stuff. Don't mind if it doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to use it to explain to you. At this point, I want to say the character is let's say professor in let's say title. You get it now. This title cannot be used outside of onCreate. I cannot come here and say let's say var new title is equal to title. Like literally, this guy is like, man, what's going on? Okay, there's title, but this title is not from our title. This title is coming from the activity class itself. You understand? So that's when you're setting, yes, it's coming from the activity. because this guy extends from a whole lot of people. App compat extends from fragment activity that extends from a lot of other people. See, there's different activity that implements this guy. This guy extends, and then activity extends from a lot. So verification, you need to be careful about memory leaks and setting that, but that's not the subject. So let me use another naming. So it's so you understand what I'm trying to explain. Let me name this separate something else. Movie title. Movie title. So movie title. So this guy will be movie title, right? So now let me say movie title. And this guy is like, I don't understand what's going on. Movie movie title. It's in the swap. Again, don't like my language. It's local. We talk in Nigeria, so like what's happening? Of course, I think we should understand what's happening, what's going on. So the reason why this guy can't see this, like for the fact that I'm in Nigeria, there's a lot of things happening in China, a lot of things happening in the US, a lot of things happening in Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, what have you. Like I don't know what's happening. Like because those things are formed within my context. Amazing stuff. Because I'm still going to use this thing to explain context to you. So I don't know what's happening. Like this is to me, to this guy, this is Nigeria, for instance, or this is Mozambique, or this is whatever you are. Like he doesn't understand what is. This is a foreign concept. He doesn't even understand it. If I want to make this thing accessible to this guy, I need to make it become an international product, like something that cut across several nationalities. So this guy with certain level of information, maybe educational status or privileges or certain access right or whatever, you should be able to just access that. You get it now? So what I can do is this now it's called a local scoped variable. I can actually move this across board and take this up and say, let me make it a private lit bar. Private lit. And say, what's that called? And let me make it a string, of course. You see now, nobody's complaining, including this guy. This guy can see it because I've been able to move this guy from a local scoped parameter, from a local scope reference to become a globally scoped reference. So now this is not globally scoped. But that's not what I wanted to explain. I'm using this opportunity to explain all forms of scoping that you ever come across. This is one form of scoping. I'm going to undo this. So that's one form of scoping, local variables and global variables. So that was locally scoped. And this one was, of course, whatever. Yes. So that's one side of it. Awesome. Let me explain another form of scoping to you. Now, we have what we call life cycle callbacks. You understand? So we have something like on creates, of which you're seeing here. That's the point where you instantiate a lot of things. We have point like on start, and on start happens immediately after. On start happens immediately after. No, on create happen between after on start. Let me go to Google and sorry, that's damn. Hey, this thing has recorded. Like that's a key that should not have been shared. So yeah, so yes, let me go somewhere else. And where's another one? Where's this guy? So yeah, what I keep, I'll have to change that key. So what happens? What was I supposed to say? Okay, life cycle callback. No, life cycle. What's this called now? Life cycle. Let me just say images. It's not about watcher, but under life cycle images, they should be able to give me something that I can't remember the exact word to search for. So I show you the things that comes before some certain things. So I'll go to images, and I'll show you for fragment. Good. Okay, so after on create, is on start, there's on restart, there's on resume, on pause, and stop, and destroy. The major ones that you actually take note of is on create, of course. There's no you can for this. On start, still very, very much makes sense. On restart, okay. On resume, on pause, on stop. These are on resume and on stop are quite popular too. On destroy, of course, you need that to destroy things that needs to be destroyed. So you don't have memory leaks. For a fragment, I think this one should be for but you need to know it for fragment especially because there's some things that you need to be doing that you will be doing that you need to know the appropriate place to create some things and some appropriate to kill some things. So let me take more water. I'm feeling stressed. My focal. I've been coding since morning. I think I've coded more than 16 hours today, if not. So I really after this I'm going to really sleep a lot. So I wanted to use that to explain another form of scoping that happens. But let me leave all of this and then let me go to coroutine scoping. So because of all these different kinds of things that happen within different states, like unresumed states and different listen, we can still say within this particular within the unresumed itself, say a coroutine by trying to tell the program at which point should our job cancel? Like at which point should a particular implementation we're making, at which point should it cancel? So if I want to call this photo category, for instance, and I want to apply some form of of course that I'm using that I'm adding coroutines to it or adding flow to it or adding live data to it, I need to form a form of scope. You understand? So all live data, for instance, you need to know this. All live data happens when your program is at least started. So that means your program is running and it's not in undestroyed state. So it will observe it. So if it's not if it's not at least started, it's not going to observe it. So that's what the scope of this coding scope means. So it means a point at which your program is going to cancel. Like I want to create a job here. So I'm going to say dispatcher. So we use dispatchers actually for coroutines. So, but it actually forms, it's a form of scoping. So something that within this particular context, now within this context, is a form of scoping that has to do with different forms of thread in which something should happen. You understand? So I want to say this thing should run within IO block. So this guy is going to give me, let me take this guy here and put this one here. So this guy that get this guy, yeah, get that guy. So this guy is going to give me, return this. I want to return the live data. So I'm returning live data. Live data of what exactly? What is this guy giving me? It's giving me photo URL. So this will be live data of. I'm using live data because of, for your level, please, let's do live data for now. So, and besides, not even your level 2, it makes a lot of sense for you to use live data within your views. Because after view model, we're going to use either a fragment or we'll be using fragment majorly. So, so photo URL, that's the name of the class. So that's what that guy is going to be submitting. So that means that's what is going to be here. It's going to be here. Not enough information. Okay. Okay, so this guy will give me this guy. So I'll say var. No, I want this guy to observe. It's not even this guy. It's results. It's result I'm passing. So I want it to observe results. Where is that my results? I want to observe a result of photo URL. So result of that guy. So this guy will give a response or a result, right? So let's see response that is going to get from this guy, that's going to get from that guy, that's going to get from the other guy. You get now. So okay, let me just make this guy suspend function first, so that Oga will let us to rest. So let me just make suspend function. But I'm going to remove it. I'm not going to use it. I'm still going to complain. Okay. Oh, I get it now. Launch. Oh, I think I understand. Sorry. So what will happen is you can only call a coroutine scope for another suspend function or within a scope. So every view model, we have different kinds of scope, coroutine scopes actually. We have scopes that are within your activity. So we have view lifecycle owner. I won't be able to explain everything for you guys because it's going to take time. So we have view lifecycle owner. Let me just lifecycle scope. We have lifecycle scope. So we can use the lifecycle scope to launch coroutine actually. So most times you want to do when resumed or when started or whatever and launch it. You don't want to call the launch. So this what we're just doing here is we're trying to see at which scope should this thing happen. You understand? This is a global scope. Yeah, so let me go back. So this being a coroutine, we want to launch this within. So every view model in itself has a view model scope. So with view model scope, we should be able to call a coroutine. A coroutine can only be called, or a coroutine can only work within a scope. So there's nothing else you can do. So I can do the coroutine scope dot launch. I can use it to launch this particular code that I want to make. So forget with the return first. So let's take this here, and let's say. So we want to launch this within this block. I might do something wrong. It's been a long time I used this pattern, but let's see. Okay, all right. So yes. So our line inside is going to return. Please don't mind that for now. I want to be this guy. Okay. So that guy, this should give us this. So we want to, since this being live data, we want to actually emit it. Within a live data, there's an emit source value and an emit value. Like every time you see a live data, since whenever I'm using it, that there's an internally, there's this an extension. Let me know if we can go to the, but you can actually emit values. So I can actually emit this response, and it should be able to actually. Sorry, let me remove this so that I'm not constrained. Good. I'm not constrained. So it's gonna return this particular guy. So at this particular point now, this guy is returning a live data. So of course, I can't just let me see. No, this will return that guy. No, I think I can. Sorry, I think this guy should be able. This guy has a coding scope. This guy has a code. This guy is calling a view model. This live data is already, since live data works within view models, it's already calling internally, it's calling the coroutine. It launches the coroutine internally. Okay, so that's all. So guys, we've been able to convert our class that was coming in with this guy. We've been able to convert it to become a live data so that we can observe it. You get it? So this is how you can translate it to become a live data. So you this actually is a coroutine function. It's an EPAP, is a extension function that was done to make things easier for you. You get it now. So, but if you want to do it the right way, you have to create do it the long way. You have to create um a, a proper proper data, like let's say for instance photo live data. Photo live data is equal to, let's say, mutable live data. What am I doing? Okay, sorry. So mutable live data. Yeah, so we specify the type, that the type is going to be the type of this guy. So let me just show you how it's going to be done the long way. So what can happen then is, since I really want to translate this to become live data, I can say photo live data dot value. Sorry, dot value. So the value will be equal to, I want to send to, in the first place when you call this thing, I want it to be result dot loading, like to send that loading state up. So while it's loading, fetch the guy, you wait. I want to show you the way that you will do it. It was years ago, before Android developers, they create more EPA functions for us to use. So you send that guy, then with your response, then that means this will have to be a suspend function. Don't worry, I'll suspend first for now. Sorry. No, it won't be a suspend function. Sorry. So this will be, I'll say view model scope, the launch, view model scope dot launch. I want to launch it within the context of within this launch, and I want to launch it with the context of this guy, dispatch.io. So it runs on that particular thread. So it's in that particular coroutine scope. So everything now that I'm doing here is going to be inside this guy. So yeah, I'm showing you what we do it, the way I would do it in those days. Like I'm trying to explain it. What this you're saying, I'm trying to explain what the long process of it. So if I have that guy and the response has been gotten, I want to say this photo URL. I want to say photo URL dot. Now, please, this is running on a separate thread, so I can't use value. So I have to use post value. Get it now? So if I'm using post value, because it's running on a separate thread. So when something is running on the thread that is not the main thread, you don't use value. So you use post value to put it on the background thread. So I'll say dot post value. So if it's posting value, I'm going to say response. So this is the way I will do it the long way. So, but what these guys did for us is they created an extension function. So they used an extension function. Since that for you to be creating this live data that is here is multiple live data, and it has not even ended because this is a private var. Meaning, if I call this, okay, I can return it from here. I can return it. It's being returned from here. So you observe from here. So yes, even the longer way would even have been like this, and then it, and someone has to now come and say, okay, I want to show you something to go. You still will do this. It's on var photo. It's a photo is equal to photo live data as live data. So the reason I'm making it live data, I'm teaching you them, man. Hey God. This might look like it's taking time, but I'm using my time to actually explain a lot of core concepts to you that a lot of people never had opportunity to actually get. So yes, live data of this guy. So the reason why I'm doing it like this, remember this is in your activity or fragment or whatever. You get it now. So yes, the reason I'm doing like this is it doesn't make sense. There's what we call abstraction in programming. Of course, you might have read about it. It's abstraction, polymorphism, and all of those other guys. I always talk to some of my friends, all of that I teach. If as a human being, another person, if I shouldn't be able to see your art or see your art beaten, it doesn't make sense. Those things were done by the original programmer that programmed humans, God. You understand? And he abstracted those things. So there are a lot of things that people shouldn't have access to because it becomes very dangerous if they have such access level. Very dangerous if they have such access level. So guys, sorry about this. I'm taking so much time. Let's do 20 minutes more. So we're going to make a part 2 of this class, and we'll see how it goes from there. Yes. So yes. So okay. So let me continue. And so I'm going to find a way to, when I'm done with this repository part, the view model part, I think I'll call it a day, and then yes, call it a day, and then we create another session for it. So let me finish this, but this is one way. I was talking about abstraction. Good. So let me just go over and delete some of these things because this is boilerplate. This is exactly, someone was asking about boilerplate. So this is boilerplate. You know, a lot of writing so much to achieve something when it could have been done in a simpler or concise manner. So I'm going to use this simpler one because this extension function does the same thing. It does the same thing. So all of that has been done with this. So yes, this. I can even go way further and do this. Yes, this is it now, and this is a lot more cleaner. So what will happen is this is our photo. I'm going to create the same thing for. Let me copy this one. I'll use that one for reference. And it's in our physical. We have all available animes, and this guy accepts nothing. The beauty of this part is it automatically exposes the right type for you. So I can just go and then get another one that does this. So I'm going to observe all these classes in the right places. So this one, that's set the title. And this, that sets the title. And that's that. So 1, 2, 3. We have 3 endpoints here. So guys, we're going to call it a day now. So the next time we're going to be using this class, we have a view model. It's going to be in the activity. So what I will do is I'm going to launch this application, and I'm going to observe. So let me just take all of this. Just name it that init program. It might not be the nicest name, but at least source or want for now. Things downwards. Okay. Views number view. Okay. Yes. So I'm going to call. I want us to log and see if we'll get any success case within the application. Then we'll call it a day. So what I will do is I'm going to say fetch. I'm going to say fetch. Let me find one of the endpoints to call. Fetch photo category. Fetch. Okay, let's get a quote and get a partner title to it. So what I will do is, first of all, I will say private var. I'm going to instantiate my view model. So there are many ways to instantiate view model, but I'm going to show you the simplest way to initialize view model. So I'm going to use our own view, anime view model. So I'm going to say by view models. So I have my view model. So I'll say view model dot get all available names. I think this makes sense. And then I want to observe. By observing, I want to pass our life cycle, but that's very important. Since I want to show that, I want to explain those things. So I want to view life cycle now. Right. Why is it not? Let me type it myself. View life cycle. Okay. wonder why I'm getting that. Okay, let me check what's. Yeah, that's what it's specs. Life cycle. Okay, we can even pass this. This is an activity. So we didn't. Sorry, that was why I was having that issue. This is an activity, so we can pass the life cycle now, which is the fragment activity. So at this particular point, I want to log. I want to log. I want to log this guy, and yes, it should just log our. It should log. It should log our response for us. So first of all, we want to even know what kind of response we have. That's another thing. I want to know what kind of response. So I'll say when response is a success scenario. When response is a success scenario. When it's let me rename this to become results. Then let me create the rest cases. And for failure case, for a loading case, I want to we don't even need this. I'm not sure whether I don't know. Let me leave it first. I don't know what we'll use. Let me leave it. So okay. Okay. Let's say check my content. So I think it's almost 20 minutes. I will soon be done. I want to create a progress bar. And since it's a constraint layout, I want, sorry, I want this to be oh. So we're done. We have a part two. I have a part two of this class, and I want to make a call so we see it on either our log or we see it toast or whatever, and we'll proceed from there for that topics. So my system is actually, I don't know, the guy's been working since morning, so the guy started, me inclusive. So sorry about timing. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm using constraint layout. So there's lots of drag and drop that we can do with the constraint layout. So I want to put this at the middle, exactly at the middle. So at this point, I don't understand. Okay, no, I want to be parents. Why is that showing us that? Interesting. I just know it was ID issue. Sorry, guys. So I will just name this progress. So our progress is showing. Um, yes. So let it show. So we'll call this, and then when is the success case? No, it's right. It's right. So visibility should be 1. So when it's a loading case, we want to say progress. So we want to say binding. Are we using bind? We're not using view binding. So damn. Okay. Let me just do something now. Our progress is equals to find view by ID. How the ID dot progress, and then the progress is a progress bar. So why is this thing slow? What's happening? Information expected. Okay, I see. Sorry. So our progress is here. So I'll say progress dot is visible. Is visible is equals true. And on this particular failure case and success case, it needs to be false. When you write something more than one times, you're doing something wrong. So, but that's not the concern for now, actually. So we'll just get this thing to work first. So, so if it's a success case, it should show our snack bar, and you want to view, passing a view to it. Let me pass progress to it, and then I want to pass the results that will come from results dot data. Remember, we have data. So this will be a list of string dot. Let me get first. Let me just show first. Sure. Don't bang means you're sure that it won't be null at this point. So if it's an error case, I want to still do the same. I want for the failure case, I want to show the failure case. But this time around, I want to show I want it to give me results dot error dot let's localize message. We're getting all these things, we're getting it from here, guys. This is that we said the other time. That's where we're getting it from. So yes, and then let's log. I mean, I'm getting very lazy this night. Damn. Imagine I wanted to come here to copy this. Let's log this guy. So so let's log this guy and results dot data. and see what we're going to get. So guys, I'm going to launch the app now. Let's see what we're going to get. Oh, interesting. The UI froze before now, meaning there's something probably wrong. Whoa, this won't show show on this guy. Okay, so our debuggable process should be this guy running API level 30. Okay. So when I'm done today, I'm going to push this code to GitHub, so you guys can go to GitHub and check some things out in case you can remember some things or you just want to confirm some things. The write imports, code structure, package, and some other things. I'll push it to GitHub immediately after we test this. Then we will create another part2 class. And I'm very busy at work and some other things I'm doing. So I didn't know when we're going to do a part2, but hopefully next week we should be able to do a part2 of this class and then see how we can create an awesome app. This is what I did today. Everything was just today. I just thought about what to do. So I came to Dribble. My name is frozen. So so we can get designs that we can use, something that we can replicate, and then we'll create a real life app that makes a lot of sense design wise. And let's try this one. So I saw this one, I kind of liked it. So we might be doing something like this. So to show our quote information. So what we'll do is we'll display image, we'll display the name of the movie, we'll display the quote in it, and then this keep. So we can have something that generates random, or we can just go back, or something that says go back, or something goes back, or we use a screen like this. So we'll find a way to just do something, but this won't be now. But these are just some of the searches I had to make before this class. So it's not organized. That's why we have it's taking quite some time. So damn, this thing is still loading. Damn, why does it take so much time? So yes, so this is something when we do something like this, and then with the clear architecture we're following, and the explanation and everything, I believe at the end of the day, you guys should be really, really proud of yourself. Yes, you should be really proud of yourself. Oh, waiting for target devices to come online. Am I using a new emulator? It's coming online again. Let me see. So, okay, so our emulator is up and running, and we have some information. I've got a crash. Nice one. I'm always happy when I see crashes. I don't know why, but it's a nice one. So what we got was permission denied. So we can't actually access the internet until we have to request for permission to access the internet. So I have those. I have to go and copy code somewhere. No, not copy code actually. But let's see. Sorry, guys. These are issues that you go through, of course. So let's fix it. My program is slow. Internet emission Android stack overflow. So at least you're seeing I'm making my searches. So that will actually help you on yours. Please be fast, be fast, be fast. This is internet. This is 2013. Okay. This is 19. Permission denied. This is more recent. Okay. So this is all we're supposed to add. This permission. Of course, don't cram anything in your head though. Your head is too. You have lots of things to think about. Don't cram anything. All you need to know is know the key thing. Like I'm doing this thing. I'm not looking at anything. Like understand what you're doing. Don't just come because you want to make money or because you see people doing it. No, understand what you're doing. You get that's the whole thing. So let's go to Android manifest and add that. Android manifest. Add that here. So we'll add our permission here. So we use this permission internet, whatever we have in here. Sorry. So man, how long will this thing take to view now? So let's launch and see. I don't know to get a success case. So we know that we ended with the success. We get it. So even we want to have, man, guys, we've really come really, really far. At least you know how to really consume an API. You know how to actually structure your API. You know how to actually handle the error case in terms of the try catch. You know how to even structure your data in terms of success, failure, loading, and all that. You know how to become an observable. As of this, so there are other things too that we need to maybe part two will make a lot of sense. So we can actually learn some other key things too. So let's see, let's get it success. I believe we got a success, and yes, awesome. So you like this is impressive. So impressive one. So from the it might have been okay because it wasn't planned. You get it might have taken quite some time, but go through this. This is like it was that mission we were doing. It won't take some of us 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or whatever years to get this level of exposure. So this is amazing. We had a success case. Yes, we had a success case. So you can see it was a 200. The 200 and this is our information that is here right now. So information that is here right now, and this is the same thing as the information we'll get from the other parts. So let me close the app and launch it again because let me see if our tools will show. What's the name of the app? Anime. Okay. Okay, try to fetch it. Let's try to fetch it. So I'll put it has fetched it. So you can see IU that showed, right? IU that showed on the snack bar, which is the first element that we said should show for the result case. So guys, we'll actually come to the end of today's section. I want to believe that this was actually an impressive one. for you to come this far. I believe we've been able to cover some of the topics, the questions that you guys asked. And yes, so as mentors, follow us on Twitter. I'm member of Bogo on Twitter, Oba of Clean Code. That's my name, Oba of Clean Code on Twitter, member of Bogo. So you can find me. Other mentors also, you can find us. You get follow people that you know actually can add to you. You have the mentors that they can add to you. So guys, I want to say close to you guys. Thanks for having a good walk. We need people, we need yes, it's life. We need people that will continue from where we stop, and that's really why we're giving back. So it's a nice one. I enjoy my job. I enjoy doing this. So nice one, guys. So thank you so much.